Hello, hello, my beautiful YouTube family. Welcome back to the E portion. No! Welcome to the L portion of T.E.L.L Joanne. The L portion of T.E.L.L Joanne. L stands for learning. Guys, I know you guys are so used to me saying E portion. Clearly, I am used to me saying E portion also. But this is season 2, so we are officially kicking off the learning portion of T.E.L.L Joanne. For those of you guys who wanted to know what T.E.L.L Joanne stands for, it stands for therapy, T, E, entertainment, L, learning, L, laughing. T.E.L.L Joanne. Guys, I am super excited. I know some of you guys like, Joanne, I didn't even know there was a season 1. Yes, you guys were enjoying the season 1 where we were focused mainly on the E portion for entertainment, and now we are going to do the L portion for learning. So within the L portion, I felt like this is the time for us, for me definitely, to learn a lot more, go deep dive into the entertainers that we have been listening to, right? I want to know the person behind the person. So we're going to be learning more, whether it's interviews or interviews from the person or from other people. We're going to be learning more about the interviews from musicians, actors, dancers, comedians, athletes. We're going to be learning more about some documentaries. We're going to be learning more about travel, so places that we may want to see. So we're going to be learning a little bit about that. We're going to learn more about history, finance, and housing. Guys, I actually have a couple of people lined up in each of these categories for them to come, and we can do a live E and Q, but this is down the line to see what we're doing. But right now, your girl is going deep dive to get to know the person behind their artistry. All right, so that is the L portion of T.E.L.L Joanne. So, oh my God, I got a new cup. Yes. This is for the L portion. Okay. Like I said, every day at 8 p.m. will be the L portion. And then 2, 4, and 6, every day will be the E portion. It's going to continue every day, 2, 4, and 6. And then 8 o'clock will be the L learning portion of T.E.L.L Joanne. So without much more talking is what I mean. If you are part of the family, you already know what we're about to do. But if you're new to the channel, this is when I say hello, welcome. Now, put me on pause to get yourself a beverage of choice. Hit that subscribe button so you can become part of the family. And on a count of 3, we're going to do a cheer. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Guys, I'm so excited. So, just for you guys to know, the next few videos, maybe the next few weeks, I will have the same intro, so you can skip it if you want. And then I'm going to start right into the L learning portion. And let's go right now. Feeling all right. Piano Man, Billy Joel's remarkable transformation, 60-minute Australia. So this will be a very first time reaction, first time seeing, and I'm so glad to be learning from the man himself, the man behind the music. Let's go.
As brash and bold as most New Yorkers are, few can pull off the swagger quite like Billy Joel. Even fewer can match him for talent. It might be difficult to believe, but the Piano Man has been belting out hits now for 5 decades. That makes him an undisputed rock and roll legend. As you'll see, though, these days there's something different about Billy. Don't worry, he's still in the mood for a melody and definitely still got us feeling all right. But he's also had a remarkable transformation.
What's the matter with the car I'm driving? Can't you tell?
Yeah, this is my old stomping grounds. This is where I live, in the village of Oyster Bay.
White wall tires, are you gonna cruise the Miracle Mile?
Cruising with the world's most famous piano man, Billy Joel, is a trip back in time.
My house is at the end on the right.
We're on Long Island, just outside of New York City.
I keep my boat at my house, and I go everywhere by boat.
It's where Billy was raised
My mom used to drive us up when we were kids.
and where he still lives.
She'd pack a whole bunch of us into her little car.
And it's not hard to see why.
Hi, it's Billy Joel.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Pleasure. I got a guy. You want to shake your hand? How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you. Guys have always said they've seen you. I've never seen you.
At 73, there's no other place he'd rather be.
Yeah,
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. No problem.
thank you.
Anyways, it's still rock and roll.
Well, that's got to be a perk
Yeah,
in the biz.
absolutely.
Talk about the new sound, funny, but it's still rock and roll to me.
This is probably my favorite time of life. Everything is falling into place.
You're comfortable in your skin.
Yeah, I'm content.
But if you're thinking Billy Joel sounds like he's winding down, forget it.
Now I drive my downeaster.
He's as in demand as ever, as I discovered when I first met him in early 2020, before our filming was abruptly interrupted by COVID. Back then, he was preparing to play to another sellout crowd at New York's iconic Madison Square Garden, part of his record-breaking residency that was proving so popular, even Billy was shocked.
Record
Yeah, well, I
break-
thought they'd stop coming.
Sorry, Billy, for interrupting you. Record breaking. Record breaking. You guys here at 72. Okay? All right, let me go back a little bit. Sorry.
New York's iconic Madison Square Garden, part of his record-breaking residency that was proving so popular, even Billy was shocked.
Yeah, well, I thought they'd stop coming. And they don't. They keep buying tickets. So I'm probably here for the rest of my natural life.
So what does it tell you?
Tells me I picked a good job.
With more than 100 songs in his repertoire
In the middle of the night, I go walking
and
in my
33 top hits,
tell her about it.
Billy Joel is a remarkable story.
Anymore, this is my life.
His family escaped Nazi Germany and fled to the US, where Billy's tough working-class upbringing was soothed with the joyful sounds of music.
My father played the piano. He was very good. My mother sang. We had an old upright piano called a Lester. It was really a dog of a piano. And when I was a kid, I used to pour lighter fluid on the keys and set them on fire like Hendrix did with his guitar.
Why did you do that?
It looked cool at night.
When Billy was 8, his father walked out, but his mother was determined Billy would become the piano player.
The first piano teacher I had also taught ballet, Miss Francis.
And that caused you a bit of grief.
Well, I had to walk down the street to the piano teacher with my piano books, and there was always a couple of guys on my way who'd say, hey, where's your tutu? Hey, ballet boy. I got bullied. So I started the box to learn how to take care of myself.
And you did it pretty well.
I liked it. I mean, I was a teenager. When you're a teenager, you got a lot of hostility. And then I started to have sex, and I realized I'm not so hostile anymore.
Billy's piano playing landed him in local bands, but not much further. By the time he hit his 20s, he was broke and broken.
Well, it was a lot of heavy lifting back in the day. And I didn't have a high school diploma, didn't have a college degree. All I knew was music. And it got a little scary when I was about 21. I said, wow, am I going to be able to make a living?
How did you get through?
Things got pretty dark for a while. I actually checked into an observation ward. And I'm in there with homicidal maniacs and people kicking heroin. And, and I'd go up to the nurse's station and say, hey, I'm okay. These people are crazy. Yeah, here's your pills, Mr. Joel. So they let me out after 3 weeks.
And that got you on your way? That set you back on course?
So I'm going to pause for a second. It has been 5 minutes of me listening, and I have learned so much about Billy Joel. Wow, with his whole background, my goodness. And I paused in the last part because how brave is he to be so honest, right? And to talk about, I think he says observational ward that he went to, right? That he checked himself in. And the interesting thing is, the reason why I stopped is that mental health wellness. I'm going to use the word wellness. It is so important. And guys, it doesn't matter if you have a diagnosis or if you don't have a diagnosis. We are human beings and we go through things, we go through stress. And every now and then we need to have a mental health wellness so we can just check on ourselves. So if you guys are ever feeling a certain way, just go out, go get a therapist, just go check yourself, just go check on yourself. You know what I mean? Having someone to talk to about the things that you're going through, the stress that you're going through, the things that you don't understand that you're experiencing, it really, really is very, very beneficial to us. It's very beneficial to you. Even though I know there's a huge stigma around it, like once you see a therapist, there's something wrong with you. It's really not. And even though I said there's a huge stigma, I also know that from my adult years to when I was a kid, it's very, very different. Like mental health, it is a lot more acknowledged, acceptable, and people are smarter, right? People are smarter. They know that it just because we go see a therapist, just because we try to better ourselves, doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us. So I'm saying all of this to say that I love that Billy Joel is very honest. And he's saying this. And I also want to say, just in case you guys didn't know, this is actually my very first dive down Billy Joel, so I know nothing about him besides the music and the things that you guys have written on the comments, which I thank you guys very, very much. So I'm really, really excited to hear him, and everything that he says will be new to me. Like I said, unless it's the things that you guys have said to me in the comments. So I'm just gonna go back a little bit. But I love this so far.
Heroin, and I'd go up to the nurse's station and say, hey, I'm okay. These people are crazy. Yeah, here's your pills, Mr. Joel. So they let me out after 3 weeks.
And that got you on your way? That set you back on course?
I think so. You can't fall victim to self-pity. It's one of the most useless emotions you can have.
He says you can't fall victim to self-pity, but that is the emotions that a lot of us have. In fact, that's what media pushes on us, right? We see these people on television and we just want to be like them, and we just don't know their whole story, don't know their whole truth, don't know what there's going on. We just see the glamour that's put on television and we just start feeling sorry for ourselves, right? And I love that he says you cannot be a victim to self-pity. So if you find that yourself, you are becoming a victim to self-pity, again, go out there, go get help, and start learning about the person, right? Learning about the person and seeing that what's on TV is meant to glamorize you. It's not reality. It's not reality. Okay, let me just go back one more time.
Oh, they let me out after 3 weeks.
And that got you on your way? That set you back on course?
I think so. You can't fall victim to self-pity. It's one of the most useless emotions you can have.
But the hard knocks kept coming. At 22, he was ripped off by his first manager.
It's 9 o'clock on
To sit out what he decided was a bad deal, he took a job playing in a rundown LA piano bar.
You're the piano man.
It turned out pretty well, though, because desperation led to inspiration. The executive room.
The executive room, that's right. Which is where Piano Man comes from.
That's right.
Even the characters in the song were actually real people. John was the bartender.
Now John at the bar is a friend of mine.
Paul was a guy who was going to write the great American novel, but he was a real estate broker.
Now Paul is a real estate novelist.
There was a guy in the Navy whose name was Dave.
And he's talking with Davey, who's still in the Navy.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. Davey was in the Navy. So it was all based...
I'm going to try not to keep pausing, guys. Inspired by real life. And now I need to go back and watch my reaction of Piano Man and hear what I said and what I thought. And I felt like, oh, I really need to go back and watch that video. Because that was my introduction to Billy Joel. And I think that after the second song, I realized that I had heard his music before and I just didn't know that I knew his music. So it's really cool to hear that, again, his inspiration came from real life, that he was talking about real people. All right, guys, I'm not going to pause no more. Let me just let this continue so that I don't spend like 2 hours watching this 17-minute video. All right.
Now Paul is a real estate novelist.
There was a guy in the Navy whose name was Dave.
And he's talking with Davey, who's still in the Navy.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. Davey was in the Navy. So it was all based on real people. And I remember when I was doing the gig, I got to get a song out of this.
But you probably had no idea that that would be the song that would launch you.
No, I don't think it's that good a song, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Yeah. It's very long. It's in 6/8 time. It's very repetitive. Now what? You jump an octave. So it's repetitious.
It is a song that everyone knows the words
Yeah, they
to.
all sing.
So you hear that.
Yeah.
So it's not such a bad song.
Well, a lot of people like that song. If I don't do that song, people get really angry.
You are credited with writing beautiful words, but you say the music comes first.
Well, I always write the music first. To me, that's the primary language, is the music. When you listen on the radio and there's a song you like, you usually don't hear the words first. You hear the melody, you hear the beat, you hear the production of the song, you hear the singer's voice. And then if you like all that, you start figuring out the words the next time you hear the song.
Well, you write about your heart and soul, actually, quite a lot.
Well, I was told, write what you know. So life experience gave me lyrics.
Many of Billy's life experiences have involved matters of the heart. This song for his first wife, Elizabeth Weber.
I want you just the way you are.
And this one for his second, 80s supermodel and uptown girl, Christy Brinkley. But not all of his hits were love songs. We Didn't Start the Fire followed a conversation with John Lennon's son Sean, who was moaning to Billy about how tough it was to live in the 80s.
You've got AIDS, and there's crack, and there's this war and that war. I said, yeah, but we all felt the same when we were your age, too. And Sean said, at least you grew up in the 50s, and everybody knows nothing happened in the 50s. I said, what do you mean nothing happened? Harry Truman was the president. Doris Day was a famous singer. Harry Truman, Doris Day. Red China went communist. Some people just think it's a bunch of words and names spewed out, but it's written chronologically. These were the headlines of my life.
Because you had to be a big shot.
Since then, there have been other headlines, stints in rehab and 2 more divorces. But the show went on until Billy turned 60 and made the stunning decision to quit. In 2012, he was lured back to the stage at Madison Square Garden. And in 2014, he agreed to play there every month while ever his fans kept buying tickets. And they haven't stopped.
Well, this is my office.
It is your office.
This is where I go to work.
Yeah. On this night, it's Billy Joel's 73rd consecutive show. I'm more nervous than you.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I feel the vibe.
Everything's going to be fine, don't you worry.
In fact, there was reason to worry. What Billy and 20,000 adoring fans didn't know that night was COVID was about to flatten the world. This performance would be his last for nearly 2 years. And the next time he and I would see each other, he'd be a very different man.
The pain makes you stoic. It also makes you lose your appetite, but it's a good way to lose weight.
This guy got a sense of humor for sure, a way of looking at things, okay? All right, let's look at the brighter side of things. All right, let's go.
How many bikes do you have?
I'm 100 plus at the last count. Yeah, this is a Royal Enfield. That's a Harley Davidson.
You may not expect this to be the Piano Man's favourite place, but it is. Billy Joel's Long Island motorcycle garage.
I'm sorry. I like how she keeps calling him the Piano Man, right? You know, being that he said that that's like one of his least favorite songs, but yet she's calling him the Piano Man. The head-ends calling him the Piano Man. We call him the Piano Man. That's why he's like, I'm tired of the piano song, but that is a song that got him up there. So that's kind of funny. Comment below if you guys think something about that.
Garage is his man shed, and building bikes and riding them is his therapy.
Well, you're not in a cage, you're not in a box when you're on a motorcycle. It just makes it fun to go somewhere.
But like the rest of us, Billy learnt the fun of going somewhere ceased with COVID. For nearly 2 years, his professional life and our story has been on hold.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for.
When we catch up again, Billy is still taking refuge in his motorcycle garage. But this time, something's very different. Billy's 23 kilos lighter.
Well, anyone who needs to go on a diet should have back surgery. I highly recommend it. Because I had to get hip replacement too. My hips were shot. And the pain makes you stoic. It also makes you lose your appetite. But it's a good way to lose weight. Now, over this pandemic, a lot of people I know gained weight because they were doing nothing but sitting around at home and packing it in. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, I see you found what I lost. So
Billy is clearly on the mend, and so too is New York. But during COVID, his city was a grim place.
You'd be walking through on Fifth Avenue in New York City, and you just saw masks, and it was like a horror movie. Where are all the people? Where are all the faces? What do people look like anymore? It was like a ghost town. A little bit scary.
Life took a pause, but the Piano Man's music didn't die, because behind COVID doors, this was happening. A new generation discovered Billy and his hit song Zanzibar, with a dance that went viral on TikTok.
Yeah, how about that? That was weird.
So when the city doors reopened and Billy Joel found himself back on stage, there they were.
I look out in the audience and I see people doing this dance to Zanzibar. And I guess they picked that up from TikTok. And they're there because of that.
Wow.
But it makes a big difference in the audience when you have that kind of energy. If it was all people my age, I think it'd be kind of boring.
It was the sort of energy he needed after such a long break.
We felt like we were all going to be rusty and stale, and that we're going to remember how to do this. And the minute we walked down the stage, it was like, right, getting right back on the bike and going.
And put bread in my jar and say, man, will you?
When I do this song, Piano Man, there's a line that says, I know that it's me they've been coming to see to forget about life for a while. And the whole place heaves this, yes. You know, we get a big round of applause just for that line. And it occurs to me every night, oh yeah, that's right. They haven't done this for a while.
We came to life again, I guess, because there'd been nothing for 2 years. Now suddenly there's this joy back.
Yeah, and also a sense of community.
Yes.
And when I looked out in the audience, there were 20,000 people, and they didn't have masks on. They all had faces. It was a joy. It was really fun.
Yeah, we went through a stage of being faceless. You're quite right.
Yeah, it was nice to see faces again.
Judging by their faces, his fans were thrilled to see him too. And come December, Billy plans to put smiles on our dials. He's playing just one massive show down under, and he's bringing with him some special guests, his family.
I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time, and my new little girls have never been there, and they're dying to see Australia. I tell them stories about it all the time. Their favorite show is Bluey.
Oh, really?
Oh no! My camera! Come on. Let's go.
I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time, and my new little girls have never been there, and they're dying to see Australia. I tell them stories about it all the time. Their favorite show is Bluey.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, they love the accent to begin with. They go, are they English? I said, no. They're not English, they're Australian, and don't call them English either.
'Cause darling, you know only the good die young.
There are few musicians who've stood the test of time quite like Billy Joel. He hasn't released a rock and roll album in almost 30 years. But the world still wants to see him and hear those extraordinary hits. And for that, he's very grateful.
Look, when I started out in this job, I didn't know I'd be able to make a living at it. And I look back on all that heavy lifting that went on, and it's quite gratifying, really. I mean, there was a lot of work, and it's still going on.
Oh, life's a lot of work ultimately, but what you packed into it in that time is quite extraordinary. You should feel very proud.
I am. I think music says it all for me. But it worked out pretty damn good.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.
Okay, Liz, that was pretty incredible. So this interview started before COVID, and then they had to sit on it and then played it after COVID. So that was a very, very long interview, and I actually like the fact to see the before and the after to see him. And it is interesting. He's right. A lot of people gain weight during COVID, including myself. Had a baby. Yeah, just kind of push that in. And then to see that after COVID, he actually went through surgery, he had surgery, and then he lost weight. So taking care of himself. Now, in the interview itself, I absolutely love it. Like, it's so funny. Like, the American dream of immigrants. I almost want to add to it. So his parents came over here, and so, which is interesting. I did not realize that Billy Joel did not have a college or even a high school diploma. I wonder if he ever went back to school to finish it or not. But to see that he doesn't have those degrees, doesn't have a high school diploma, but that doesn't stop him from being an absolute genius, right? It does not stop him from doing what he had done, right? Because what he did have is determination. He had he was determined, and he had belief in himself, right? He was a hard worker. No matter what, he worked hard. And I also love that the mental health aspect of it also, which is the fact that he, during all these things, everything that he went through, he took time to get himself together. He took time to not only worry about like his physical health, but he also took time to worry about his mental health early on in life. So to me, that says throughout everything that he went through, he also knew like his mental awareness was very, very important. So guys, this was really, really great. So they talked about two of his wives. I noticed that he has a wedding ring on. So I don't know if that is wife number 3 or other numbers. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just learning about him. So I'm definitely going to be listening to a lot more interviews so I can get to know more about the man behind the man. Like, he just said so many awesome things. Like his bike collection, holy goodness, over 100. Wow, absolutely amazing. So far, like, I'm seeing these artists that I've been doing the behind the scene, and it's like, while they are out there doing the music, they have something that keeps them grounded, something that is on their own. So him, it seems like, you know, on top of a lot of things he may have, he has his bike collection. Elvis had his karate. Eva Cassidy had her nursery. Like, it's so important to have something else that just is ours, right? Our own, that we don't have to put out to everyone else, and it just keeps us grounded, keeps us sane, right? Keeps us human. So I love this. Like there was so many things I didn't want to just keep stopping. But comment below, guys, if you guys want me to actually stop and comment, or wait till the end and then say everything else that I wanted to say. But guys, I am enjoying this learning segment, and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m.